Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Be diligent to come to me quickly, for Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world, and has departed for Thessalonica, Crescens for Galatia, Titus for Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. Get Mark and bring him with you, for he is useful to me for ministry. And the books, especially the parchments. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 9 through 13. Adversity molded the Apostle Paul into the greatest warrior for Christ the world has ever known. But there were times when adversity and disappointment took its toll on this rugged warrior. We can sense Paul's hurt and discouragement near the end of this second letter to Timothy in the passage read earlier. Paul goes on later in that same letter to write, Alexander the coppersmith did me much harm. May the Lord repay him according to his works. You also must beware of him, for he has greatly resisted our words. At my first defense no one stood with me, but all forsook me. May it not be charged against them. Do your utmost to come before winter. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 14 through 16, and verse 21. Do you hear the pain in those words? Twice he urges Timothy to come to him. Do you feel his anguish when he twice speaks of being deserted by his friends? In most of his letters, Paul seems to have an invincible spirit. Yet he is a man who suffers, feels betrayed, and is at times very lonely. However, Paul chooses to look at life from a heavenly perspective. That is why he can write in another letter these words, We are hard-pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our body. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 8 through 10. Paul has experienced a level of opposition and suffering that you and I can scarcely imagine. People say they will do things but do not follow through. He cannot depend on certain people. Yet Paul is not crushed, and he refuses to give in to despair. He views his life as a continual process of dying. His goal is to live in such a way that the life of Jesus will be revealed in his response to adversity. What about us today? We must beware of placing too much of an expectation upon others. We must realize that people will let us down from time to time, but we cannot let that impact our faith. May we all be committed to a deeper trust in God to work, even through these disappointments. This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
There is an endless song that goes in my soul. I hear the music ring, and though the storms may come, I am holding on, and to the rock I cling. How can I keep from singing your praise? How can I ever say enough? How amazing is your love? How can I keep from shouting your name? I know I am loved by the King, and it makes my heart want to sing. I will lift my eyes in the darkest night, for I know my Savior lives, and I will walk